Hi, it's Moose 99, and today we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to play Pure Vanilla. Now, I've noticed a lot of people asking in or popping into the Twitch stream and asking if it's a good game to buy. And I think with the Steam sale right now, it's pretty cheap. So I thought we'd do a Pure Vanilla game, easy start, and kind of do it like a tutorial. So here's the map set up, and let's get going. So one easy start here. And so it looks like we have cows. We have 6 families with 6 houses already. We have some stock of food and some stock of log iron and stone. Alright, so let's get our interface up. So first things first, hit the camera and hit number 1 there, which is a Z. That'll just center our camera for us here, which is what we want. Maybe a little bit farther out, something like that. Alright, let's put this up. This is our resource count, and also counts our health and our happiness, which is always good. And our event log, and I'm gonna click this resource one off just so it doesn't bug me. And I'm also gonna put up our professions list here, probably somewhere over here, probably right about there. And in order to survive in Banished, you need some basics. So food is the big one, firewood or fuel is the other one, and tools make everybody more efficient. So if you're feeding your people based on having everybody with tools and you run out of tools, it could be a problem where people are only growing half as much food or chopping as much wood. So food is crucial, fuel or firewood is crucial, and tools are crucial. And basically your challenge here on an easy start is to get the infrastructure in place before your stores run out. Okay? So first of all, we have the cows, and they will die without a pasture. So let's pick a spot, maybe just for I don't know, just something over here, maybe. Do a little pasture, say a 15 by 15 or something like that. And the added benefit to that is we can clear out some of these resources as well, too. So anytime you're clearing, it's a good idea to have a stockpile nearby. So I'm just going to put a little 4x4 stockpile in there. And we'll have people clear that out, and we'll put the cows in there. Now, looking around at our land here, we've got this big mountain range kind of to the south here blocking us. So we'll need to do a tunnel through there at some point to get this valley down here. But what I see here is a nice big chunk of land for a forest node. So I think that's going to be our first priority. And I'll show you what I mean by a forest node in a minute. But let's get a bit of a road going. And then let's get a bridge over there. And in order to get that built, we'll have to put a few builders in. So this says that we need 4, so we'll put 4 in. And yeah, we don't have a wood chopper. We do have a stock of 400 firewood though. So use this resource thing up the top left-hand corner here. Look at this often. Look for logs, stone, iron, firewood, and food and tools. Coats have some importance, but they're of secondary importance after firewood, tools, and food. Okay, so we won't worry about coats right away. Alright, and let's put this on time 10 and let it rip here. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try and get to about, 200 or 300 stable. And what I mean by stable is lots of food, lots of fuel, lots of tools, that kind of stuff. Alright, there's our wooden bridge built. So I am going to figure out, I'm just going to pause just for a second here. Alright, so a forest node consists of a gathering hut, and we want to get as much of this yellow circle on flat land as possible. So you don't want any hills in this, so that's about the best we can do. So I'm going to put that there, just pause it just for the moment. Now the next part of a forest node here is going to be a forester lodge, and I'm going to put that across the street from the gatherer and try and sort of match that up as best as I can with the gatherer circle. They're slightly different, slightly offset, but the gatherer will gather a lot more food if it's got trees. growing in the circle. So the forester will both plant and cut trees, so it'll be a supply of logs. But almost as importantly as that is it'll also keep replanting the trees so that lots of natural food will grow underneath the trees. If you just have bare land, it's hard to gather because natural food doesn't grow on barren land. It prefers to grow underneath trees and stuff like that. Okay, and I'm just going to pause that for the moment too. And the other part to a forest node, or I should say the third part, is a hunting lodge. So I'm going to put this in. Now, just because this chunk of land's not super ideal, hunting lodge is not going to be in the perfect place, but it's going to be in a place where I can get pretty good coverage. So I'd say about 95%. We'll pause that. Now, forest nodes also need a barn. So for the food that's caught from the hunting lodge and also the food that's gathered naturally from the gathering hut, the closest access to storage for food makes them a lot more efficient. So if they have to pick some food and then walk all the way over here to store it and walk back, they won't really gather very much food. So the other thing we want to put in here is a small stockpile. So 4x4 is usually sufficient. And looks like our road's not going to line up perfectly, so let's run this down, I don't know, say from there. Oop. Looks like I've put the stockpile in the wrong place, so just have to deal with that for a moment here. Okay, so let's take the road down here to about there. Then I'm going to hold shift so we can do it diagonally like that. And now, did I put that in the wrong place too? Yeah, I did. So I offset the barn and the stockpile by 1, but no problem, we can fix that. So there's the barn, and now I'll put the stockpile in the right place here. Why don't we do a 5x3 just to match the width of the barn there? Same as a 4x4, but that's fine. Okay, and let's prioritize the stockpile in the barn. Now, eventually we're going to want houses up here too. So the forester are going to have up to 4 people. So that would be 2 houses. A hunting cabin, you can have up to 3 in there, but I usually just put 2, so that's another house. And the gatherer would have 4 people max, that's another 2 houses. So 5 total houses, somewhere around the forest node here. Now, it may seem counterintuitive to put the houses inside the forest circle, because it cuts down on the gathering space and the hunting and the planting space. But the added efficiency of having the houses close to the workplace is just way overwhelms the inefficiency of having the houses in the circles. Okay, so I'm going to line this up here. Now, if we look at the number of people, we have 14 right now. So the rule on houses, if you want to keep growing, is divide the number of adults, which is the 14, by 2 and then round up. So that would mean we actually need 7 houses. So I'm going to put, well, actually I'm going to put 2 in. Just 1 for the current requirement and 1 for growth here. So I'm going to put 2 wooden houses over here. And because our barn and our stockpile have grown or have been built, I'm going to prioritize 1 house. I'm also going to take the gathering hut off of pause here. Get rid of the bridge in the barn here. Now, out of these, the gathering hut will be the best source of food. Hunting lodge is pretty good, but the gathering hut is steady. And there's a concept here in Banished where there's 4 food types. There's fruit, vegetable, grain, and protein. And the gathering hut will actually gather most of those, if not all of those categories. So your health is affected primarily by your diet. So a gathering hut is a really good thing both to put in for the amount that it produces, but also the variety of food it produces. So I'm going to put that in. So a couple things we're going to do with this gathering hut here. First of all, we're going to put 4 people in there right from the start. Now see, it says food limit here of 5,000. There's absolutely no reason to have that anything less than all 9s, right? No reason to manage food at all. This is a harder game than it looks, and you want as much food as you can. If your food fills up your storage, put more storage in, right? So do not limit the amount of food you produce. Don't do that ever. Okay? I'm just going to keep this up so we can see the circles here for the moment. Okay, one of our houses is built, and a builder's moved in there, so that's fine. And it's a female, so probably there was population members 13 and 14 were both females, so one in each house, and then at some point a mate will join them. All right, now let's build the Forester's Lodge, and the pasture's built. Okay, now our cows are still alive, so let's assign this to cattle, and probably really only need one herdsman in here, but I'm gonna put 2. Doesn't hurt anything, makes it a little more forgiving. All right, so we'll do that, and it looks like we got 8. So don't lean on pastures a lot in the beginning. It takes a while for them to produce, and without mods they don't really produce a ton. But the advantage to pastures is they give you both a little bit of meat and other byproducts like leather or wool if you have sheep. So definitely don't throw away your starting animals, but when you start trading and accumulating other crops and animals, I wouldn't put the focus on pastures right away. All right, so we got the Forester's Lodge going here. How many people do we have? We have 4 builders and 4 laborers. We still have a stock of 86 logs, so what I'm going to do here is I'll turn off the cut function. I'm going to lower this to 2 people max, and I'll put 2 people in there, and what they're going to be doing is just running around and planting trees, new trees in the barren, or the blank spaces, I guess you call it. Now, in order to help that out, what we want to do is put a couple more stockpiles in outside of these circles. So say a 4x4 there, maybe a nice small 4x4 there, and it's probably good enough for now because we got the small one in the middle here. So what we want to do is go over here, and we want to collect all the stone that's inside those circles. Okay, because trees and food can't grow where stone and iron are, and you're going to need the iron and the stone anyways, so if you clear this all out, it just makes it so that your forest node has more room to plant trees, and more room for food to grow, and more room for animals to wander around and be hunted. Okay, so let's let that go. Let's balance this out a bit better. We can leave 2 builders in for now, and just let that go. If you have builders assigned and there's no work to be done, they just labor anyway, so you don't have to really worry about that too much. But you do always want a pool of laborers around as replacement workers, so let's do that. Now let's think about our expansion here. So this is the trade river coming in here. Okay, there's a lake, trade river down here. So if we're going to do a trading dock, which we will, we'll do it somewhere either on that river or on this lake that's connected to the river. And down here, probably what we want to think about down here is turn this into a mining community. So not that I'm going to build them right away, but let's just have a look here and see what we can do for mines here. These are sometimes very finicky to get in, so you want to scope out ahead of time where they'll actually fit. Yeah, I think I can fit another one in there somewhere, but it's going to be a bit tricky. Probably over here. Alright, so that's 3 that we can get in there so far. So this area can kind of be our mining area down here. Probably would want to rearrange these homes here. But I won't worry about that for now. Now, if we wanted to put a marketplace in, kind of service everything, it would be somewhere around there. It's not terrible. I think I'm going to put that in, but maybe not build it just yet. And the circle here of the marketplace, that basically tells you whatever houses are within that circle, or we're going to use this marketplace for supplies and stuff like that. So just 1 second here. Alright, so the other one I want to think of here is what's our, what are we planning ahead to do here? So this will give us a decent supply of food, at least in the short term. It'll give us some logs, and it will give us also a little bit of leather for clothing down the road. So that's a decent start to have a forest node. I actually got lucky that it was a big enough chunk of land there. So what we might want to do is put a tunnel in here. I'm just going to lay a few things out here, but not actually build them. So I just want to understand like where we're going down the road here. So a tunnel would work in there with 92 stone. Okay, and that would give us access down to a nice little valley in here. Some expansion room there. If we built over here, there's another little valley over there. So we could maybe do some farming and stuff up in there. So mining kind of community here. Maybe a mixture of farming and mining down here. Okay, I'm not against that at all. Okay, so right now we need 7 houses. It says we have 8, so we're good for the moment. So maybe let's actually clear some of this stuff out here. Just help us eyeball things to build, but it also gives us building material too, so do that. Now, the other essentials, like we've got food sort of covered for the moment. The other essentials we need are a chopper here. And I have to remember in the vanilla menus where everything is. Here's our wood chopper here. Not super important where this is for the moment, but maybe we'll just put a couple of them in here. Just to start with here. Technically you only need 1 at the start, but I like to have redundancy. Oh, and I bet you I didn't line that up properly either. Let's take a road through here. No. I'm derping on the lineups of the buildings today. So lesson being, put the road in first maybe. You know. Okay, so let's build 2 of those. We have 2 builders in. Fair enough. And the other thing we want to build is a blacksmith. This will make tools for us here. So by the barn's not a bad option for the blacksmith. So let's do that. So we're going to build some woodcutters and a blacksmith. And just close up. Let's build the hunting cabin too. The marketplace, we're just going to hang on to that concept for the moment. Tunnel, don't really need it to start. And that's stockpile, that's fine. And we're hanging on to the forester's lodge because we're just planting at the moment. Okay, and gatherer's hut's working away. Actually, we should have a look there. So you can see it's already produced well over 1,200 food. So your bannies will eat 100 food each per year. So this is producing already like 1,300 food. And that's 4 people doing that. So we have a total of 26 people. So you can tell that's not really going to last us too long. So the hunter, the gatherer, if we grow, you know, too much more, which we're going to need more food right away. So it's really easy to get too complacent on food. Like, hey, I got a lot of food, everything's fine. But as your population grows, you need more and more food. So you have to be of the mindset here to keep regularly putting in additional food sources. All right, now the other thing on easy here is we should have a couple of seeds. So I want to probably figure out a good spot to put in a couple of fields here. Now we could put in a temporary field over there, a couple here maybe. Got a little bit of a hill here that's going to impede us. We could maybe, you know, maybe let's actually build. Now, do we want to build a tunnel or do we want to build a bridge? This isn't really the ideal place to build a bridge, though, is it? It's going to be difficult walking, I think. Well, we can get a bridge in there. Yeah, we're not going to be able to build a road there, but... Well, let's do that. Let's actually think about the tunnel first, though, maybe. Well, let's get the woodcutters built and the blacksmith here. And I think... Let's just put a couple of stockpiles in there for the woodcutters. Could probably get rid of this stockpile here. Alright, so let's make this 3 and 3. We got a lot of removal going on. Well, actually, let's back that off. Let's put 2 people in the hunting cabin here. Okay, so that gives us 4 gatherers and 2 hunters at the moment. Food is sitting at about 800 right now, which is not great. So I think maybe some temporary farm fields are going to be required, you know, before we get the bridges and the tunnels going here. So let's see what it looks like here. Like, the ideal size of farm for one worker is 120. So you can do 10 by 12s like that, or 11 by 11s, or whatever sort of floats your boat. There's a website called, I think, banishedinfo.com. It's got a pretty cool little calculator on it for field sizes. I encourage you to check that out and play around with it. So let's put a couple of crop fields in, you know, maybe even 3. I think those are all 12 by 10s. Okay, and crops will collect a lot quicker if there's a barn nearby, so let's do that. Now, did I leave enough room for a road? I did not. Oops. What I want to do here is... I'm really derping on the lineups today. Actually, I'd like to take it off. Now, let's do it this way. Okay, and because we marked a tree for removal or something for removal, that's blocking the road, so we'll unset that for removal. And that'll look like that. And I think what I'll do is I'll shift where this marketplace is going to go slightly. We can actually line the road up maybe from here. You know what? I'm going to have to just live with that. Alright, I can put that marketplace back in where it's going to go anyways. Alright, so let's get all that stuff built, and... yeah, I left it go too long on the firewood here. So, what I'm going to do... you can see we got a cold symbol there, so... let's shut down the blacksmith, shut down this build. Just have the woodcutter building. Let's throw 3 builders in. pause all this stuff. I said it was going to be a tutorial. I didn't say whether it was going to be a tutorial of what to do or what not to do. And let's get the woodcutter going here. Now it's early spring, so we probably won't kill everybody here, but that's a lesson there. You take the eye off the ball for 1 second and you run out of something, so keep scanning up here. Okay, we still only have 8 out of 11 in the pasture, so we're getting nothing for production so far there. Okay, our log supply is still half decent, 47. But as soon as we start chopping firewood, that'll go away pretty quickly here. So, I have 4 people. I think what we're going to do is we'll go down to... Yeah, no, I'm going to leave it at 1 builder there. And I see we have 15 adults now, so we're going to put another house in. Okay, tools are at 99, so we can delay the blacksmith a little bit longer. Let's maybe manually collect some trees here. Oh, we already did that, okay. You can see in the forest node here where we've cleared off the rock and the iron that little trees are being planted. And there's some wild food, there's mushrooms and a few other things going. And when you see these animal animations, don't worry about it. That doesn't mean anything as far as hunting goes. They're just animations. What the hunting cabin needs is just flat land. Flat land with trees on it, preferably. But don't worry about the animations. They're just cute. Okay, we have a little bit of firewood now. Let's build the blacksmith and the house there. And if you feel like giving a priority, it's a gear and the up arrow. In this particular case, it doesn't really mean much. But if you have a bunch of buildings and you want a particular one prioritized, then you hit the priority button there. And I'm going to pause that market there. Okay, food's up over 1,000 still. Maybe we should get at least one of these crop fields going. Planting has to be done by spring, and the harvest is in autumn. So right now we're in early autumn. So if we want to build these fields, as long as they're ready by spring, then they'll produce for us. But if not, it'll be either vastly reduced or won't produce anything. So if you're going to rely on fields, make sure they're in by spring with a crop and with a farmer. Okay, there's a blacksmith. I'm just going to go 25 tools on the limit here, just to start with. We have 108 iron right now. So the order of build here is going to be that house is already being built, so let's get these keep clicking on the wrong one here. Okay, the house is being built and somebody moved in, which is good. So let's build the farms now. Come on, guys. Okay, there's one. Now remember, 120 per farmer, so these are 121, close enough. So we're just gonna need one person in each of these. And I think right now, our log supply is kind of hovering around 40. And I want to chop more firewood, so let's go back into our forest lodge here. Let's do cut, and let's put 2 more people in the lodge. And we'll keep the log limit at 200. So that 200 limit means this will cut until it reaches a limit, like a inventory of 200. Alright, so now that forest lodge should be producing logs for us. We've got 2 fields built. Let's build the other woodcutter here. Now 19 people, so 19 divided by 2 is 9.5, round up to 10. We currently have 9 houses, so... And we do want to get to a total of about 5 up here. So let's add another one in there. And it's too bad this missed by 1. You know what? Let's do it like that. And clean this up here. I'm just moving where the jog in the road is. Alright, and our barn we're going to want over there. So we're in late winter right now. Our food is at 1738, so I think I want to turn 2 of these crop fields on. So we've got wheat and the other one here was corn. Alright, so those both count as grain, which is good. And let's make sure there's only 1 person max. And there's 2 farmers assigned, so that'll work. And we'll hold this crop field in reserve for the moment until we get more people. And we've still got plenty of iron, so I'm not going to worry about the mine just yet. Let's prioritize this barn for to be built. And, yeah. I don't like the way that ended up, but that's okay. So with this forest node, that's producing a fair amount. That's pretty awesome production out of that gatherer's hut. And this guy's doing okay. Not as much by volume, but because it's getting venison, that is protein. So the food groups again are fruit, veg, protein, and grain. So between the grain we're growing here, the wheat and the corn, the protein from the hunting lodge, and now in the gatherer's hut you get basically fruit and veg out of there. So that'll give us a balanced diet. So it should give us 4.5 hearts at least, I would think. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick save here. I'm used to the game crashing every once in a while, so we'll do that. Now our storage barn is built, which is good. Yeah, even though these fields are semi-temporary, I think I'll flesh them out with roads here. Oh, I got the buzzer there. Why did I get the buzzer? Alright, so that gives us a half-decent town. Tools are doing okay, iron's okay. Firewood's still not awesome, so let's actually prioritize building that second chopper here. Tactically not needed, but peace of mind, it'll help. Alright, then I gotta decide, we want to go bridge over here to this valley for expansion, or tunnel down. I think I'm leaning tunnel down right now. 92 stone, and we have 271 in stock. Alright. Got a crop field in reserve. How many people? Actually, we have, at the moment, we have 7 laborers, so let's make this third field wheat here. Just with 1 farmer, and let that rip. Our woodcutter's building. So let's build woodcutter, market, and then tunnel, I think, for the win here. And then we'll start expanding down south here. So woodcutter, we'll put another person in there. I think I like a max fuel right now for 400, so we'll bump that up. Okay. Now, adult population is 25, so we should have 25 divided by 2, 12 and a half, rounded up to 13, so we have 410. Alright, so we actually need 3 more houses by that math, so I want 5 for the forest node, so let's put the 5th one here. And I think I want to clean this up a bit, so let's put let's actually put 2 in there. Yeah, maybe even 3, and if there's too many, I don't really like the way that easy start, the way it lays this little square out, so I might clean that. Okay, we got almost all our stone for the tunnel. Alright, tunnel's built. So this is going to be our first expansion area down here. So, nice flat spot for more mines, but we sort of have spots for 3 mines already. So it's not a super high priority here. More food, or maybe another forest node is going to be the way to go down here, so. And we do need a spot to put some traders in. Where do we want the traders to go? We might be able to do some trading over here. This is at a bit of an angle. Usually I prefer a spot where it's fairly flat. That's all in the forest node there. You know what we could do though? We could build this bridge here. It's going to be harsh with the road, but maybe another community over here and some trading docks along that shore. And then back in here. Yeah, okay. So let's do that in our second expansion. Now down here, our tunnel is built, so let's see what we want. Do we want a forest node? I mean, that would be a pretty good spot to build one there. This is not as good over that way. And that road even lines up, sort of. So why don't we bring the road down first here? Something like that. And let's just stay on pause for a moment and lay in a forest node. It's not going to be 100% best one in the world, but it's not going to be terrible either. And these valley maps are notoriously difficult for finding arable ground. So I've been playing Mega Mod and Verdant Plains a lot. A little bit more room to build, a little more flat land, but this will work. I guarantee it, mostly. Okay, and I think the barn will go on this side. And let's do our, say our 5x3 stockpile here. And let's do a stockpile right up by the tunnel mouth here too. And let's actually prioritize those 2 stockpiles because that'll help us build everything. And gets the barn too, but that's okay. Okay, and I'm just going to lay out a couple of, well, when I say a couple, what I mean is 5 probably houses there. And I think we'll actually leave one unpaused. Unpaused but not prioritized. Hey Moostra, how you doing, man? Well, there was a bunch of people dropped into the stream the other day asking if they should buy Banished because it's on sale. So I thought, you know, I haven't really played a lot of vanilla lately, but tutorials for Mega Mod's probably not going to help somebody new at the game. So I thought we'd do kind of a tutorial let's play, maybe up to 200 or 300 people. Of course, earlier on I almost killed everybody off, so I'm not sure if it's going to be a tutorial of what to do or what not to do. But, and it's a good point too to say that there's no right way to play this game. This is just kind of the way I play it. But you can pretty reliably follow these teachings or these methods and get to 300 or 400. I hope. Let's see, we've got a marketplace here. Don't have a ton of people at the moment, so I'm just going to put one lonely person in there. But with this number of people, that'll be fine. And I think 4 builders is good. Yeah, that was the idea. I've got the pig timer set, so when it goes off, I'm going to just do a little break and then cut another episode. I think I have an online doctor's appointment in another hour here about my back, so I'm going to go until about 20 after 2 Pacific. And then depending how long the doctor takes, I want to see if I get an x-ray. I think there's something, I've done something bad to vertebrae. Old fat guys golfing is usually not good for the back. Alright, I think I actually want that house and barn now. Where was this house up there? 26? We'll see if I built too many houses here. Now, are you looking for a mate or is that a split up? Now look at, these are all young men waiting to move out. Another young man there. Come on, girls. Alright. Yep. And there is somebody for this house down here, for sure. Let's actually, that'll help us build the whole thing here, so let's do that. And eventually we're going to want another stockpile down at the bottom here. So speaking of pig timers, there we go. So I'm just going to end this here as episode 1. So this is DerpyMoose99. This is a vanilla let's play tutorial. And like I say, I'm not sure if it's a tutorial on what to do or what not to do. We'll know that by the next couple of episodes. But yeah, if you just bought Banished, I hope this is helping you. And I'll see you in the next episode.